man's personality and character is exuded through his haircut. Your image is important. Our high-end services range from a traditional haircut and shave to gray blending, beard shaping, and unwanted hair removal. Located at 425 Victoria Avenue East. Book your appointment online now at modernmen.ca or call Tammy 306-522-4111. Modern Men, a haircut for the modern man.
Hello, I'm Sean McNall, owner of TG Marketing. We are a promotional product company located in Regina, Saskatchewan. Originally founded by Tom G. McNall in 1985, we are now in our 35th year of business. My brother Ryan and I, along with our great staff, have carried the torch since Tom retired in 2011. For those of you who don't know what we do, we sell items with a company's logo on it, like clothing, pens, phone chargers, Bluetooth speakers. The list of products available is endless. Our products are a great form of advertising. Whether you want to give a gift to a valued client or show your appreciation to your staff, we have a friendly team that can help find the right product for your needs. The key to our success has been our customer service and our vast knowledge of products in our industry. We ask the right questions to get you in line with the proper product for the project you are working on. Stop by 1046 Winnipeg Street and view our showroom. Get some ideas for that next promotion you're working on. Let's make your business what everyone's talking about.
Listen, we're not advocates of firing coaches. Teams don't want to do it because they don't want to burn money, right?
How about that?
But look at Cleveland. You predicted a down year for them last year, and they had it under Freddie Kitchens. But this year with Kevin Stefanski, they're a playoff team. Like, it shows you how important coaching is my point, right?
Yes.
If it's not working, you got to get the guy out of there.
This is the Rod Pedersen Show.
Oh, yes, it is. G'day, Canada and Canadian sports fans around the world. Welcome to the RP Show. What a day. Holy, we're coming in hot, Moose.
Oh, yeah.
You know that, eh? We got special guests in the studio. Darnell's here from Rockstar Supply Chain Solutions. Do you want to toss me a T-shirt, Dar? The new ones? Watch your head, Darren. Wad it up into a ball. It's fine. This is for the rock star of the day.
Get it in the air.
Got it.
Oh.
Got it. Thank you, Darnell, for these, by the way. For the rock star of the day. These are beautiful. You can't buy these in stores. Not yet, anyways. For the rock star of the day, we got the lids, and now we got T-shirts. Thank you. Lynch will be adorned in this, hey, on the streets of Saskatchewan to the end of time.
Oh, yeah.
So thank you, Dar. Good to see you as always. And I gave him his Connor Bedard, Regina Pats trading cards, too. So
How about that?
Bob's your uncle. I wanted to open with the Coleman Young story, but I think, would that be too much? Hey?
Yeah, no, it's okay.
Here's the thing, by the way. I think it's important as it relates to when we get into the Quick Six show topics and stuff about the importance of news media, accuracy, and brainwashing. I'm just going to give you a real quick little societal experiment here that in grade 9 or 10, our social studies teacher, Wayne McGarry, said to our class, okay, everybody, by a show of hands, how many of you know the mayor of the city? About 3 kids put their hands up and said, Larry Schneider, Mayor Lair. Okay, by a show of hands, how many of you know the mayor of Detroit? Every hand goes up. Coleman Young, everybody says. Why? Because every day after school, we go home and flip on our Detroit. That was our cable channels, right?
Yeah.
So the point, they weren't sticking around for the 6 o'clock news. Right after school, the Detroit news was on, and we all knew. So my point is just you're being brainwashed by the media. You don't even know it. Tick, 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 And it's important that the information you get is correct because you believe what you see. And that's just a story that we were telling before the show that I wanted to get out.
I remember it. You weren't going home in school to go watch the news.
No.
But every 15-second little promo in your commercial break of The Simpsons or whatever show you were watching was, "Here from Mayor Coleman Young coming up at 6."
Right. And Darnell almost fell off his chair when we were telling this story. All of the senior citizens were afraid to leave their condos in Regina and Saskatoon because that was their cable. They turn on the news and somebody's being shot and this robbery and this and that. Local news at 4.
What matters to your community?
Yeah. What? No. That's in Detroit, Grandma. Not here. So anyways, how about that? So these are some of the discussions that us squirrels have around here. Big news day, by the way. Great day to have Craig Button joining us from TSN, their director of scouting, longtime family friend of ours, and Sportsnet's Arash Madani coming up in hour 2. But it's just been an insane morning. The New York Rangers have fired head coach David Quinn, and who didn't see that coming? That came down today. And bravo to our content creator, Nelson Vo, who put up clips from Ron Duguay and Nick Kiprios. First coverage was right here from those guys.
Yeah.
So good job, Nelson, on that. And my ESPN was down this morning.
Uh-oh.
Major catastrophe. So, Nelson Hackowicz is the guy that lines me up with my ESPN. Hope it's okay that I outed you, Nelson, on that. But I completely missed the Week 1 NFL schedule unveiling this morning. I forgot that it was on because I didn't have my TV on this morning because ESPN was down. See how that works?
Yeah.
So my quick 6 show topics are a reflection of the fact that my ESPN was down this morning. You ready?
I'm ready.
Let's go, please, Director Jordan. Okay, and the questions are coming in here, by the way, from the viewers, and we'll get to those in a moment. I see from Dean in Green Bay watching. He says, "Happy NFL schedule day. Hashtag Go Pack Go." It's a national holiday. But as Darren will point out many times today, it's just Week 1. Because you said it like 30 times already this morning to everybody.
That's right.
Right?
It's just week 1.
It's just Week 1. But
tonight we'll get the full schedule.
Yeah. So number 1, the Winnipeg Jets spanked the Vancouver Canucks 5-0 last night. And I know a lot of you are saying it's just Vancouver, but don't forget, last week the Canucks waxed the Edmonton Oilers. Like a win's a win in the National Hockey League, especially when it's 5-0. And the first round series are determined in Canada. It's going to be the Winnipeg Jets versus the Edmonton Oilers and the Toronto Maple Leafs versus the Montreal Canadiens. Iconic series. 79, I think, was the last time the Leafs and Habs met. And it's the 80s for the Jets and the Oilers. So that's our poll question right out of the gate today. Which one of these will be the longest series of the 2 Canadian series? Let me say it again because you're going to hear it a ton over the next couple weeks. Winnipeg, Edmonton, Montreal, Toronto. My guess, I want to say Winnipeg, Edmonton will be long, but I don't necessarily think it will be long. What's Craig Button saying? Habs might win a game off the Leafs. They might win a game.
Might.
I could see the Oilers taking the Jets in 6. Sorry to say. They're just steamrolling despite what happened last night. Great start for the Jets, right? It was just takes one win to get on a roll, but the Oilers have been rolling for a while.
That's right. And what is it, 2 out of 10 now for the Jets? 2 wins in 10 games?
Yes.
So despite the win, it hasn't been great. But again, you reset everything in the playoffs, and that means your mindset is brand new. It's like starting a brand new season. So I'm with you, though. I think Edmonton, Winnipeg will be the longer series.
Right. We've got weeks to get into predictions and talk, but that's just our poll question today. Point 2, should the Canadian division stay? We talked about it at the start of the year, and now we've got almost a full regular year in. I said no, remember, at the start of the year, and I said because of time, the time changes is the biggest reason, and I think the eastern side of this continent wags the dog and everything, and I talked to people out there that are tired of their team's games facing off at 10 o'clock at night. It's too late, right, in their division. But what do I really care? Where we're sitting right now, it's fine. The games start early, and the late ones don't start that late. We're sitting in the perfect spot here in the sweatpants capital, so I'll say yes, it should stay. And maybe we'll get that poll question up in the days and weeks ahead. But I read a column by Eric Duhatschek in The Athletic on Saturday. He said the Canadian division's like having too much birthday cake. Like, it's so good at the time, but eventually it's not good for you. If you work out enough and watch your calories, you eat as much cake as you want. Let's keep it.
That's right. I mean,
are you with this?
I'm with it. I'm like, let's go.
I think we should keep it.
I think we keep it because I think the playoffs are going to be some of the best we've ever seen. We say that every year, how great they're going to be. But this is going to be like Canada-Russia Summit Series stuff. Like, we've only seen Boston and Washington and Pittsburgh on film. We haven't played them. So it's like, what's going to happen? That first game is going to be feeling each other out.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to be tremendous theater. It's going to be fun to watch.
Our viewers are jumping onto this. Todd Pinkney says, no, get rid of the Canadian division. They need to play against stronger teams. It's a cakewalk for teams to get into the playoffs. Have you ever heard of the NFC East, bruh? Sorry, Dar. Both our teams reside in the worst division of the National Football League. And let's not forget about the NFC West for years that had teams winning it with below 500 records. This is not indigenous to the National Hockey League, okay? It happens. From James in Borden, Manitoba. If Scheifele and Dubois get going, the Jets have a chance. But McMuffin and crew have been feasting on the Jets. I like it. Is that where we're going? Connor McMuffin? Here's the biggest hope the Jets have really going into the playoffs is that it's a brand new season, that things will change. Because they do. But how much will they change? Right?
I know.
It is a new season, but is Connor Hellebuck going to magically get back to last year's form? Because he wasn't the same goalie this year as last year. For weeks, we're going to sit here and talk about this. What's Sherry saying regarding the mayors of Regina and Detroit? She says, when Regina finally got cable in 1975, our U.S. TV came from North Dakota. Small town North Dakota was really bad. Later, the satellite provider switched the U.S. feeds from Detroit. That was in the 80s. She's just bringing up my story. More people here knew the mayor of Detroit because the news was on right after school than knew the mayor of Regina. Because we weren't watching the news. We were waiting for our shows to come on at 4.
That's right.
Moving on, point 3. The Edmonton football team loses $7.1 million. So here's my take on this. Came down shortly after we got off the air yesterday, Darren, and I would like your take on this. Another societal experiment, if you will. Pretty big news that the Edmonton football team loses $7.1 million. There's a lot of fake news out there, and I'll get to that in a moment. I was surfing a little bit of Twitter. Dave Campbell, our good friend, Eskimo, Edmonton color guy, saying, oh, they're canceling the season as a last resort. And I'm like, what? That's become an option now? I didn't think that was an option. So we're talking about that now? I don't know. I'm all in on the Stanley Cup playoffs and Connor Bedard and everything else. You see him wearing Blue Jays gear. So I'm not. So this morning I went to the Canadian Press Wire, of which I have a subscription, to find the story on the Edmonton football team losing $7.1 million. And what does that mean for this? Nothing there. So I go to 630 CHED, the website of the radio rights holder of the Edmonton football team. Nothing's been posted on the Edmonton football team since the draft last week on 630ched.com. Nothing against 630ched.com. But there was nothing there on the $7.1 million loss, nor the threat of canceling a season. There was nothing there. And the only thing that I can think is it's because the Oilers are steamrolling into the playoffs and they've forgotten about the Edmonton football team in the City of Champions. Because I remember Terry Jones. We all know the great Terry Jones, the Hall of Fame writer of the Edmonton Sun. Jones at large. We used to sit around a lot and talk. Media rooms in the CFL, World Juniors, Oilers. Jonesy and I were tight. And he goes, Rod, the Oilers here, it's a 365-day proposition. The Eskimos, 6 months. The 6 months window they play, they care here. The other 6 months, they don't care about the Eskimos. But the Oilers, it's 365 in Edmonton. And I'm like, that's like the Pats and the Riders here. Riders are 365, and the Pats are just in season.
Yeah.
Right? It's just the way the markets work. And that's my point is I had to dig pretty hard to find coverage for the Edmonton football team losing $7.1 million. And where I got it was from the team website where the full statement was there. So I read that. And what a great job the team president's done to keep this team on stable ground. And then I got a 3 down, and there's rumors that they've got $15 million in the bank still, so they're fine. And I'm like, then why did you have to gun your 49-year equipment manager but give your coach $500,000 that didn't coach again? You guys figure it out. I'll move on to the Blue Jays. Where are you? That's just my story. You got to dig hard to find CFL news these days.
I know, and
then you even got to wonder if it's right.
But you wonder how much is the team sending out that info too. And it's bad news, so we don't really want to put it out there, but you should. And if this was the NFL, it would be a daily situation of, when are they going to announce their financial situation? Expecting it on Thursday. And then, on Tuesday it would be, here's what we project it will be. And it's coming out the next day. And there'd be constant news every single day, right? And see how you stay top of mind? That's what's happening in Edmonton on the Oilers. Now, and if it's not happening on your football team, you need to make it happen.
Alberta's awake. John Kirby writing in and says, the Edmonton Journal had it, Rod. This is what the CFL doesn't understand. This is that societal experiment thing I was saying. I'm not going to sit all morning and try and find this Edmonton news, okay? Because the Jets played last night. The Pats named their most popular player. The Blue Jays are in flight. I'm not going to sit and look everywhere for this Edmonton football news. So it's in the Edmonton Journal. Great. Maybe I'll look it up later today. Probably not. As my brother says, we live in a 24-hour world. So yesterday.
Yes.
Jack Fulton, watching in Vulcan, Alberta. CFL and COVID are the same. Too much mass information equals frustration and distrust. If I'm starting to lose my steam for CFL news, what does that mean for John Q. Public? And the Blue Jays won last night. I'll say it again. In Atlanta, right? I can't wait for Arash in hour 2 because for years, he's a little younger than me, not a lot, but he's been counseling me. Rod, it's early. It's early. It's always saying it's early. You put this to football, we're in week 2, so just pump the brakes. Doesn't mean that they're not exciting.
Oh, yeah.
And every game's exciting.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering what Arash's take is on the Blue Jays right now. Do they have a chance? Last I saw, they were 4th in the division. Everybody's excited right now.
Yeah.
But we were normally out of it by May for 20 years, right, Dar?
That's right.
So just to win a few games in May and be in the conversations, exciting here in Canada. Point 5, hyper-local thing, but Connor Bedard does not win the Regina Pats MVP award. I was stunned. Yeah, just saying, our Connor's better. But they voted for, there was 10,000 votes cast at reginapats.com, and Riker Evans, the 19-year-old defenseman, won. And I'm like Trump. Can we get a recount here? Nothing against Riker Evans, but I voted for Connor Bedard. I mean, Darnell, you weren't asking for those Pats cards for Riker Evans' card. No. Let's just be honest about it, okay?
Had a good year, but.
Yeah, right. And then point 6, I was going to talk about the NBA playoffs. Do we care when the Raptors aren't in them? But most popular player, yes. Yeah, voted for by the, what did I say, MVP? Whatever. Doesn't matter. The point is the fans voted for Riker Evans, not Connor Bedard. Shocks me. But anyways, to the NBA thing, I'm not going to talk about the NBA right now because the NFL is returning to London in October for its first games in the city since the outbreak of the coronavirus. The Falcons will play the Jets on October 10th, and the Jacksonville Jaguars and Tim Tebow face the Miami Dolphins a week later. Both games will be staged at the stadium of Premier League soccer team Tottenham. So we'll unpack all of that later. Arash will join us. We'll talk about America's team, the Dallas Cowboys, taking on Tom in week 1. That's the featured marquee game?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's Thursday night.
It's an exciting day. And by the way, the Greek Freak has texted me. We got a new tagline here for this warm-up, which is brought to you by the Four Seasons Sports Palace. Bear with me. I get a lot of texts in a day, man.
Well, you pulled out.
Starting Monday, come on down to catch all the NHL playoffs. Of course, belief.
Oh, no.
It started.
Oh, no.
Monday night, restaurants back open. Come watch the Stanley Cup playoffs. I'm sorry, because we got Craig Button in next. Can you hold that thought?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, we'll be right back. You're watching the RP Show on Game Plus Television Network across all 10 provinces and 31 states. Live daily on YouTube and Facebook, and 24-hour sports talk for Suds Full Service Car Wash at rodpedersen.com.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
Don't rack your brain trying to source the equipment and materials you need for your business. Rockstar can operate your entire supply chain, from PO creation to expediting your shipments, all from our office. Leverage the buying power of the Rockstar buying group to not only save money and time, but also the headache. From gloves to glue, we can provide it for you. Find out more at rockstar.com.
Does this look familiar? Your fans deserve an incredible arena experience. It's time for an upgrade. Stunning graphics. Revenue opportunities are just the beginning with our in-venue display systems and scoring technology. Let us help you find the best solution for your facility. EDG, always delivering the best fan experience.
Capital Ford Lincoln is your used car destination. We're overstocked and priced to move, so shop online or in-store to get the best deal on any one of our massive selection of pre-owned vehicles. Every pre-owned vehicle at Capital Ford must pass a thorough inspection, ensuring that your buying experience is quick, easy, worry-free, and just like new. So save the depreciation and buy pre-owned. Capital Ford Lincoln is your used car destination. 1201 Pasqua Street North in Regina.
Is it time to take your event online? Bring it to IKS Live. We've got a fully customized virtual event platform with remote guest support for your next fundraiser, talk show, conference, performance, and more. IKS Live offers live streaming to Facebook Live and YouTube and pre-recorded capabilities, both in our studio with green screen available and on location with pre-production and post-production services. IKS Live, the proud producer of The Rod Pedersen Show and The Recovery Hour. Visit us at ikslive.ca.
Nestled in the scenic Qu'Appelle Valley, just 20 minutes northwest of Regina, is one of the finest golf courses in all of Saskatchewan, the Deer Valley Golf Club. The clubhouse has a full-service restaurant, and customers can enjoy a casual dining experience with spectacular views of the golf course and valley. A fully stocked golf shop, staffed by PGA of Canada professionals, is equipped to meet all of your golf apparel and equipment needs. Book your tee time, family event, or corporate tournament today at the Deer Valley Golf Club. Call 306-731-1445.
We started Suds Car Wash in 2003.
There's a bit of us in every part of the business. I've been working here since I was about 10 years old. Hard to believe it's been 12 years since. Working with my family has been great. My mom and dad have taught us the importance of hard work. I've been here since I was 10 years old, and my dad has taught me a lot about quality work.
From all of us at Suds Car Wash, we make your car shine.
Hey Rod Squad, now you can join the team with your very own RP Show gear. Head to rodpedersenshop.com and get yours today while supplies last.
Hey, honey, can you get one of the kids to show me how this Twitter thing works? Honey, I need to get on Instagram. Time for more of the Rod Pedersen Show.
It is, everybody. Welcome back, and we're live on Game Plus TV across all 10 provinces and 31 states. But we're also interactive YouTube and Facebook. Wayne in Victoria, BC says, I think I'm addicted to interacting with the RP Show. That's fine. There's far worse things you could be addicted to than this show. The NFL schedule has come out. Week 1. Comments are coming in like crazy on that. We'll get to that in a moment. And Simon Fudge, guys, our soccer insider, says, greetings from Doha, Qatar. Just been out for an evening jog in 35-degree weather, followed by a dip in the Arabian Gulf. Simon, are you bragging or complaining? Sounds to me like he's bragging. Pretty hot out there. And the breaking news today, the New York Rangers fired coach David Quinn this morning and 3 assistant coaches after missing the playoffs with one of the NHL's up-and-coming young teams. The move is the first major one from new general manager Chris Drury, who took over last week after the organization fired popular president John Davidson and general manager Jeff Gordon. More on that in a moment. Let's bring in Craig Button now, TSN's director of scouting. We've got a ton of things to go through with Craig. Let's get him on the screen. Good morning, Craig. How you doing, my friend?
Hey, I am really good, Rod. Things are 35-degree weather, eh? You telling me? Oh, boy.
Feels like Texas. Feels like Texas. How did it feel to be back last week?
It was great. You know, I was there for 12 days, and obviously our ties there from your father and myself, and, you know, to see a lot of people and to see how much it's grown, where the tournament was at. It all used to be fields there, Rod. It all used to be fields. I'm like, I said to Doug Armstrong, he was there as well, and we both were talking. Boy, has it ever changed up here? Pastures and fields as far as you could go, cows and horses. I felt like I was in Milestone.
Well, it's a great spot. It actually looks very much like Milestone. Well, Wade Klippenstein, you know Clipper from the Colorado Avalanche, tweeted.
I sure do.
He tweeted, "God bless Texas," that there was crowds at the game. You probably saw Clipper there. Yeah. My question to you was your outfits, Craig, were resplendent. I was telling the guys, did you take like 12 outfits and mix and match, or did you go to your favorite dry cleaner? Man, you were fresh, as the football players say down there.
Well, you know, fresh is good, and when you have a face like mine, you want to keep the attention off the face and onto the clothes. Like, you know what? Make sure you got a nice, colorful shirt, ties properly tied. You know, make sure you have a nice poof in your jacket, and away you go. So, I know what I got to do to keep the focus off the face. Hey, it's fun. You know what? It was a lot of fun to be in Texas. For the players, mostly to watch their excitement, Rod. You know, it's been a trying year for everybody. And for the players that had the opportunity to go and compete, it was fantastic. When they won the gold medal and they were parading around that trophy, we were waiting on TSN for that photo shot where they're all around the trophy on the ice. And I just said, I hope those guys take in every second of enjoying that trophy, because what they've gone through in the last year, and then to achieve something so special and unique, you know, savor every minute of it. And they certainly did. I saw a few of the players on the plane ride back to Calgary, Dylan Gunther and of course, Kuhlmans. And I mean, they had masks on, but I'll tell you what, that smile went way beyond their mask, all the way up to the ears, I'm telling you.
Well, of course.
Ear to ear.
And I always got so many things I can talk to you about, but I just got to mention Connor Bedard. You said such nice things about him. And you said, that's confidence, not arrogance. Remember when he was going like that out to the backhand? Well, I know you wouldn't have been around him because we're not allowed to be around the players in this COVID situation. But what, as close as you were to him, what kind of vibe did you get from this kid?
Well, we know how good he is, Rod. Like, I mean, it goes without saying. No kidding, Craig. Thanks for that great analysis. Yeah, he's good. He's really good, right? But, you know, he had never played at that level of competition. So you watch players, and most of the players hadn't played at that level of competition. But here's a 15-year-old going into this competition, and he's good enough to be there, no question about it. But to watch him just kind of get his feet wet and then gain that confidence. You know, when he scored that goal against Sweden, when he went to the corner and nodded his head, yeah, here I am, right? I mean, that was built up over time. It didn't just, I think it was him at that moment in time being really comfortable just with his personality and saying, hey, yeah, this is great. But he was building on that. And when you watch a player, any player, you know, like perform at the highest level, a best on best tournament, and perform so brilliantly, and, you know, and that confidence grows. And I always say this, Rod, there comes a time when a player, they go into a tournament like that, and Connor's no different. He goes, I think I can play at that level. Then you start to say, hey, yeah, I'm getting signs to, I really feel that I can play at this level. Then you know you can play at that level. And I think that was the progression I saw with Connor. And, you know, I mean, he wasn't just a player that participated. He was one of the very, very best players in the entire tournament. And, you know, it's interesting because I thought about your dad a number of times during the tournament. in this regard. Your dad watched lots of young players over the course of his many years in many, many hockey rinks. And you know how it is. You remember how you always used to hear about the next guy? Oh yeah. Wait till you see this guy. And your dad always used to remind me, he goes, they're all good. They're all good. But the special ones are going to identify themselves. And as good as that player is and a first-round pick in the WHL or a top midget or a top atom, he said, you know what? They're good. But the special ones you'll know right away. And I kept thinking about Connor Bedard. How many times have you heard about, oh, wait till you see this guy? And you saw him, they were good, but they weren't special. And Connor, and it was a great reminder because your dad had such a personal touch with the players and families and the understanding of let's not put unrealistic expectations on the players. And that's something I've always kept in mind, when I describe players. But when it comes to Connor Bedard, it was really obvious how special it was.
Well, I know, but I could take a lesson from the old guy because I pump these guys up. You know how many times I've had coaches and GMs saying, can you tone it down? And I'm like, well, I'm trying to sell tickets here. We saw Bedard. We had him on a Zoom call going into his first game, and Craig, he said he had butterflies. He wanted to puke his first dub game. And then he goes out and buries 2 on Max Paddock in 47 seconds. We're like, yeah. And just as long as we're telling old guys stories, he used to work that Western Prospects development camp, and he called me. He very rarely ever called me on this, but he goes, you got to come down and see this kid. And I said, who? He goes, Sam Steele. And I went and watched, and his team won 8-1, and Sam had 7 goals and an assisted on the 8. And I just can't imagine what my dad would say about Connor Bedard. I cannot imagine. He's watching from the seats in the sky. I can't let you get out of here without a little analysis on David Quinn being let go. Craig, I assume this was just kind of a formality. We were all expecting this, were we not, given what happened in New York last week?
I think that's probably the word that gnaws at you. We were expecting it based on what happened last week. Chris Drury was instrumental in the hiring of David Quinn. And, I think where the New York Rangers found themselves 3 years ago when they sent out the letter and hired David Quinn, I'm not surprised because you see a lot of different scenarios play out. A lot of them eerily similar, where ownership starts to believe that you're further along or you should be further along. And, we see John Davidson, we see Jeff Gorton, now we see David Quinn. Listen, the New York Rangers have an excellent group of young players, and they have a really good prospect pool, and I think they have a promising future. But to suggest now that Alexis Lafreniere and Adam Fox and Capo Caco, Alexis Lafreniere, all these young players are ready to go and perform at the highest levels and help your team compete for a Stanley Cup, it's not only unrealistic, it's problematic. Because the problem is you don't understand the process of maturity. And you can sit here and want to speed it up all you want. The next fast rebuild will be the first one. You can't speed it up, and you can't speed up the maturity of the young players. I think David Quinn's a good coach, but I think that it was inevitable that this was going to happen. And, I think for the New York Rangers and where they're headed, I think Chris Drury's taken over a team that's got a lot of bright young players and has a bright future. But, again, what's the expectation next year? And once you start, I compare it to skiing, Rod. You go up the hill, on the chairlift. And it takes a little bit of time. Now you get to the top of the mountain, you're going, oh, geez, it took some time. It took 10 minutes on the chairlift. Well, now as you start to ski downhill, you're enjoying, but as you get further down the hill and you pick up speed, it takes longer to get back up the hill. Chris Drury better be real careful about identifying where the team is at, because if you start going down the hill and you start going too quickly, the climb's going to be that much harder, and guess what? That much longer.
Yeah, good, very good analysis, parallel. I think we got 3 minutes, and you know what that means in TV terms. But I just got to say this: our mutual friend Paul Bissonnette said to me he thinks an NHL rebuild should take 5 years, and I think he was just selling for the Coyotes because it's been longer than 5. What's a realistic time frame for an NHL rebuild? Do you think, Craig, from absolute dumpster fire to being a respectable team?
Well, so what I would say is, again, like, so if you start right from the bottom, right, and you're going to be picking players high, right, and promising players, right, and so now you're drafting 18-year-olds. Well, if you expect that they're going to just step in and lead you out of the basement, it's unrealistic. They need to learn. They need to grow. They need to be surrounded. You know, Rod, I joined the Dallas Stars, the Minnesota North Stars in 1988. Mike Modano had been the first overall pick. It was 11 years later when we won the Stanley Cup. When did we become competitive? We went to the Stanley Cup final in 1991. It was a magical mystery tour. It was magical because you always go to the Stanley Cup final, but it's a mystery is how we got there. And then we ended up moving, and it was really 1996, 97 that our team was able to really push to the next level. There was a lot of factors that went into that. The ownership. Where was there an ability to invest in your team? The players' maturity. Acquiring players. I call it the intersection. And you got to sync it all up. And it's easy to acquire picks. It's easy to acquire younger players. It's easier but you got to sync it. The young players have to be ready to contribute. They have to have the guidance of the older players. The older players still have to be able to contribute in a big way, but it can't just fall on their shoulders. And the syncing up of it is the key. And I think it's 5 years. One of the big mistakes I made when I came to Calgary, and it was as general manager, I was ready to take a 3-year contract because I felt like, okay, we'll have the opportunity to build it. But I was doing the things that needed to be done, but they were impatient in ownership. So after 3 years, I was out. But all the things that I was doing got that team to the Stanley Cup final the next year, and then built. And it takes time. I was naive because I should have said, I'm only coming there on a 5-year deal. I believed, okay, 3 years, we'll show enough sign, they'll be patient with me. Wrong, Craig. They weren't patient.
Well, Biz was right then with his 5 years. There should be minimum 5.
Yes, he is. I agree with him.
And here's another one. Last one. When we met, which I think was 1990, you were living in East Lansing. I told you, I thought you were an American guy.
Ann Arbor. Hang on a second here.
Football guys, sorry.
Big
Not Michigan
difference.
State, Michigan. Yeah, well, to people there is huge. But I thought you were American with your dad and everything. And then I find out from our mutual friend Bob Maria that you're a Montreal guy. So how much heat did you take for saying they might not win a game? Because I watch it every day. I tell you that. What did you get heat over that?
Well, a good friend. Get heat. I mean, a lot of my friends said I have now become the face on their dartboard. Family, friends. I'm the face on the dartboard now. They're trying to hit the bullseye. But it's funny. When you make that comment, but it's what I believe. I'm not here to try to bury teams or anything, but Toronto just beat Montreal 3 straight games. And Montreal, might have had a leg in some of the games, but not all of them. In 1979, the last time these two teams met in the playoffs, it was a 4-game sweep. Montreal was superior to the Toronto Maple Leafs. The Toronto Maple Leafs right now are superior to the Montreal Canadiens. So, you know what? We'll see if they win a game, fine. Maybe they'll win 2, but at the end of the day, I see no chance for them to win 4. And quite frankly, I think they'll be lucky to win 1.
He's digging in. Craig, I watch you every day. I really enjoy it. Please keep it up, and thanks for this. I always enjoy these visits.
You know what, Rod? I do too. And you know what? I think what we got to do is just visit more regularly. And it doesn't always have to be on your show, but just catch up and talk.
Yeah, let's do it.
I always enjoy the chats.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah. Thanks, Craig. Have a great day.
You too. Thanks, Rod.
TSN's Director of Scouting, Craig Button. We'll be right back to update the sports update, which is updating like by the minute on this busy day here. We'll get to that, viewer takeover, and all the rest coming up. You're watching the RP Show on Game Plus TV, YouTube and Facebook Live, and 24-hour sports radio for Suds Full Service Car Wash at rodpedersen.com.
Have you subscribed to the Rod Pedersen Show YouTube channel yet? Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now.
Smoky in the air, that's a lot of pine.
today's fast-paced world, we know you don't always have time to cook a nutritious meal. The Mad Greek in Moose Jaw's got you covered with delicious takeout and delivery specials, even for large groups or occasions. Authentic Greek cuisine, pizza, ribs, and more. There's something for everyone to enjoy. Offering delivery, and the takeout window is open to get your Greek to go. Family owned and operated. For more information and to view the online menu, visit themadgreekeatery.com.
Bronco Plumbing and Heating, proudly serving Regina and surrounding areas since 1978. We are excited to announce the new Bryant Furnace Trade-in Allowance Program. If you have a working Bryant furnace, 15 years old or less, you may be eligible to receive a new furnace at a discounted rate. If you'd like to take advantage of the Bryant Trade-in Program, or to hear how we can help improve your home, give us a call today at 306-781-2090.
Direct West provides us with stats and analytics, and it's amazing for us to look and see that, each year we're 10 to 20% higher on our Google leads. It's great to see the success that our locations are having. The Direct West app gives us an opportunity to be in one place for people to find any of our locations or our commodities. Without Direct West, we would have to be in multiple digital places. I would recommend Direct West. They're great to work with.
Rockstar Supply Chain Solutions is Saskatchewan's only full-service supply chain company. Strategic sourcing, PO creation, and order expediting, VMI and vending solutions, and free delivery are just a few of the supply chain services we provide. If your company needs it, Rockstar Supply Chain Solutions can get it for you. Price, quality, service, Rockstar Supply Chain Solution is helping Saskatchewan companies buy better.
Some of the challenges we face with the CT technology that we have today is some of the deficiencies in around integration with some of our other systems. The addition of 2 new 4D simulators within the programming of the Saskatchewan Cancer Agency is going to have significant impact on the care we provide to the people of Saskatchewan.
Capital GMC is your used car destination. We're overstocked and priced to move, so shop online or in-store to get the best deal on any one of our massive selection of certified pre-owned vehicles. Every certified vehicle includes the balance of manufacturer's warranty, 150-plus point inspection, roadside assistance, and certified exchange privilege. So save the depreciation and buy pre-owned. Capital GMC is your used car destination at the corner of Rochdale and Pasqua in Regina.
Did you know you can catch all the best moments from the show on all our social media platforms? Now, back to the studio with Rod.
All right. It's been a great show, and things continue to roll here. More good stuff. 6:30 Ched is clearly watching the program because I said in the warm-up that I couldn't find the story on the Edmonton football team losing $7.1 million. And this from Global. Sorry. Oh, yeah, they're with Global. Okay. I guess I went to the wrong website. They're the same company now.
Yes, that's right.
So, we posted it at 2 p.m. on the Global website. I won't out the person that sent it to me. And by the way, they said, Bernie Smilowitz from Detroit, one of my favorite sportscasters, he was on WDIV Detroit. We watched him Weekend at Bernie's. We grew up watching on Detroit cable here in town. It's a long story. Sports update. And then we'll get to some viewer comments here. There's breaking news this morning. The New York Rangers fired Coach David Quinn and 3 assistant coaches after missing the playoffs with one of the NHL's up-and-coming teams. New general manager Chris Drury, who just took that job last week, says the search for a new head coach begins immediately. In 3 years, David Quinn posted a 96, 87, and 25 record in rebuilding the Rangers, with a much younger team that included number 1 overall pick Alexis Lafreniere this past season. Debate raging on Twitter, by the way. Great job, Nelson Vo, posting the clip of Ron Duguay saying on this show that Mark Messier should coach the Rangers. How do you think that's going over? Like a lead balloon in church. Mm-hmm. Captain Blake Wheeler had 2 goals and 2 assists as the Winnipeg Jets defeated the visiting Vancouver Canucks 5-0 to clinch third spot in the North Division standings last night. Winnipeg forward Paul Stastny was honored pregame for playing in his 1,000th career game. Did you, by the way, see the little silver, like they gave a big silver stick, obviously, to Paul Stastny, but then he gave his daughters silver mini sticks.
Whoa.
What do you want for those kids? What do you want?
I know.
Couldn't take my eyes off them. I'm a mini stick fan. I have several here. Whoop, Estevan Bruins.
What's going on?
You ever look back here?
I know.
It's a tickle trunk. I'm a mini stick fan. In the queue, Samuel Poulin, Jordan Spence, and Nathan Leger all had 2 goals and an assist as the Val d'Or topped the Rimouski Oceanic 8-2 to sweep their second-round series. Thomas Casey and Brett Budgel had a goal and an assist, potting goals 4 minutes apart early in the second period as Charlottetown edged Acadie Bathurst 2-1 to sweep their best-of-5 second-round matchup 3-0. And Alex Bocage scored once and set up 2 more. And Mikhail Abramov had a goal and an assist as part of a 3-goal third. And Victoriaville downed Blainville Boisbriand 6-4 in Game 3 of their best-of-5 second-round series for a 2-1 lead. This Abramov guy, you said he's a Leaf prospect? You notice he's factoring, whenever I read these,
every game,
he's always on it.
Oh, yeah.
Good job, Leafs. Kawhi Leonard scored 20 points. Paul George added 16, and the Clippers led all the way in a 115-96 win over the Raptors in Tampa. And Vladdy homered and drove in 3 as the Blue Jays took advantage of Atlanta's indecisive fielding in the 8th inning, rallying past the Braves 5-3. Guerrero had 3 hits, including a tying single and a 3-run 8th to erase a 3-2 deficit. Ronald Acuna Jr. hit his major league leading 11th homer for Atlanta. I don't know if you saw, he chirped Vladdy on his way by first. I don't know if you saw that or not. It's all in good fun.
Oh, yeah.
Authorities say former NFL quarterback Brett Favre has yet to pay back $600,000 U.S. in money received from the state of Mississippi for multiple speaking events he never showed up for. The former athlete had previously said he would pay the state after an audit revealed $1.1 million had been paid to Favre's company, Favre Enterprises. This sports update for the Tap Brew House and drive-through liquor store opening Monday. And for Red Bull, well, the drive-through liquor store is open now, if you just can't wait. But for in-person dining, opening Monday. And for Red Bull Canada, Red Bull gives you wings. So where were we, Moose? I haven't allowed you to talk a lot, and I apologize for that. Although you've been crushing it the last 2 days with your analogies and your analysis.
Thank you.
What are you looking up now?
So this is what came up in the break, and just to drop it out there on the heels of your sports update, the New York Post brought up 7 candidates for the job. Okay, 7 candidates that would be available for the job. And here, I'm just going to read the 7 names. Mike Babcock, Gerard Gallant, Bob Hartley, Patrick Waugh, Rick Tocchet, John Tortorella, and Rod Brindamore, who they put an asterisk beside because his contract expires with Carolina, and it's like the off chance that they negotiations break down. But Mark Messier, nowhere on this list. Nowhere on this list.
I don't think he's going to get it at all. I mean, it's interesting. Like, he's too busy doing Lay's commercials and Tide. Have you seen
the
those?
Tide one was great.
With Stone Cold Steve Austin and Ice-T.
Messier. Messier. No, it's Messier.
Messier. There's a joke that comes to mind. I'm not going to say it. You and I could have put that list together, though. That had to come from the New York Post.
I know. So this came down this morning.
James in Borden, Manitoba. Jets did a first-class job recognizing Paul for his 1,000th game. I know Winnipeg is not a favorite destination for players, but they treat these guys as good as any big city team. They have to, and they do. And, of course, they do a great job. Michael Alley watching in Los Angeles. It's been rough locally how the Angels released Albert Pujols. He hasn't been hitting, but he didn't get the respect he deserved. I hope he catches on somewhere else like the KC Royals. I hope that you're not feeling too bad for Albert Pujols. You know how much money this guy's made? His numbers do not add up to what he's being paid. It's pretty simple. I'm sure he's a great guy. Going back, we all heard the stories. Going back to when he was with the Cardinals, what he did for the community, his family story. He's making a lot of dough.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of folks writing in, they knew the joke that I was referring to. He wouldn't know, he's too young. You don't know that one, eh? Messier? From William Works. Hey, Craig Button, you never count out the Habs. Playoffs are a new animal, and Craig should know that. He knows better than anybody. There's a little... If you're good in this business, sometimes you just throw out a little jab to see who's paying attention. Apparently that worked.
Right.
He went fishing. He caught a big one.
Caught a huge one.
Anyways, we will continue... not overtime coming up, but viewer takeover next hour. And then Arash Madani, or next, after the segment, then Arash Madani next hour. And what are we going to talk about with her? Where do you want to go?
I know.
Blue Jays, CFL, Leafs, Habs. Think about it.
Yeah, Jays will be good, which, by the way, they're in third, not fourth.
They've moved up.
Half a game
with that
out of
win last night.
Half a game out of second, 2 games out of first.
We'll be talking wild card soon. You're watching the RP Show on Game Plus TV Network, YouTube, and Facebook Live, and 24-hour sports radio for Suds Full Service Car Wash at rodpedersen.com.
Have you subscribed to the Rod Pedersen Show YouTube channel yet? Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now.
People donate blood for moments like this.
But there are lots of reasons why Canada's Lifeline needs donors every day.
Like the fact that someone with leukemia can need up to 8 units of blood a week.
Or that donated blood lasts no longer than 42 days.
Or to help new moms and babies, like Henry.
There's lots of reasons to donate blood. That's why we need donors every day.
The need for blood is constant. Join Toyota and our Toyota dealers in supporting Canada's Lifeline.
Direct West has been the bridge for me from not dealing with social media or digital presence to having a presence. You have to take the leap of faith, so to say, and I'm glad we have. Direct West has helped us out immensely to get our presence online as far as digitally and also with the social media page. To see the results is just puts a smile on your face.
Is it time to take your event online? Bring it to IKS Live. We've got a fully customized virtual event platform with remote guest support for your next fundraiser, talk show, conference, performance, and more. IKS Live offers live streaming to Facebook Live and YouTube and pre-recorded capabilities, both in our studio with green screen available and on location with pre-production and post-production services. IKS Live, the proud producer of The Rod Pedersen Show and The Recovery Hour. Visit us at ikslive.ca.
Bronco Plumbing and Heating, proudly serving Regina and surrounding areas since 1978. We are excited to announce the new Bryant Furnace Trade-in Allowance Program. If you have a working Bryant furnace, 15 years old or less, you may be eligible to receive a new furnace at a discounted rate. If you'd like to take advantage of the Bryant Trade-in Program, or to hear how we can help improve your home, give us a call today at 306-781-2090.
At Prairie Mobile, you can get the phone you want when you want. All smartphones are $0 every day. With convenient locations across Saskatchewan, Prairie Mobile, your SaskTel authorized dealer, has you covered. Visit us online at prairiemobile.com.
Universal Collision Center is Saskatchewan's premier auto body shop. Our extensive process ensures that every vehicle that comes through our state-of-the-art facilities is returned pre-accident condition, and that every UCC customer experience is an easy one. We're certified to repair all makes, all models, and all luxury brands, and Universal Auto Spa offers full-service detailing packages to suit you and your vehicle. Plus, we're the official body shop of your Saskatchewan Rough Riders. Universal Collision Center, 3910 Rochdale Boulevard and 2355 First Avenue in Regina.
Hey, Rod Squad, now you can join the team with your very own RP Show gear. Head to rodpedersenshop.com and get yours today while supplies last. It's just like we wear on the show, official RP Show gear at rodpedersenshop.com.
Send us your opinions now. We won't victimize you unless you really deserve it. Now, back to your host, Rod Pedersen.
And we got Moose DuPont here, the entire crew, Jordan, Clark, and Ryan. Very socially distanced on the other side of this wall, correct?
That's right.
And masked up. I said it's viewer takeover, and let's do that with all these topics on the table that we got into. The Stanley Cup playoffs and the Scotia North Division are set. The matchups, Oilers, Jets, Habs, Leafs. Our question today, our poll question, by the way, for Capital Automall Universal Collision Center is, which of those series do you think will be the longest? I think I voted for Winnipeg, Edmonton. And 63% of respondents on Twitter saying Winnipeg, Edmonton will be the longer series. Craig Button's pretty much predicting a Leafs sweep. And what are they saying on Facebook?
Pretty much exactly the same.
Yeah.
60-40.
Little longer series for that one. We want them all to go 7, right? In our pre-show meeting here today, Darren's like, do you guys think that the playoffs will be like even better this year? And what did Darnell and I say?
They're good.
They're always amazing.
Always amazing.
Every year.
Yeah.
How could they be better?
I know. There's more mystery. There's more intrigue, I think.
That's what you think?
With the unknowns. You know, we've got into this world where borders don't exist anymore, and the world's so small, and, you know, we want to be able to play everybody, but it's actually better that these Canadian teams haven't played because it is us against them. And we'll really find out where you stack up. And, you know, that first game where you don't know, and it takes me back to being in minor hockey and playing provincials against, you know, a team on the other side of the province who you've never played, but you're going to meet them in this provincial game, and you're nervous because you don't know how you stack up. And that first game is feeling each other out. And then game 2, you really get into it because now you kind of know how the other team plays. And we're going to see that in the playoffs. And we haven't seen that in a really long time. So this is going to be exciting.
I'm just checking in with the viewers here. We call this viewer takeover, obviously. And I really want to know what you think we should ask Arash next hour, because the guy is like a Swiss Army knife, right? He can do a lot of things.
Mm-hmm.
Prairie Mobile text line regarding yesterday's question, what's the best breakfast spot? Anonymous texter from the 604 writes in. That's British Columbia, don't you know? Right? Lower Mainland.
Right.
Viewer says, the Elbow Room in downtown Vancouver. Never been. One of my favorite steakhouses in the world, though, is the Gotham Steakhouse. If that means anything in downtown Vancouver, Gotham Steakhouse. As dark and as sketchy as it sounds.
All right.
And amazing steaks. Big, thick ones. Brady in Saskatoon. Hey, Rod, the Habs should be doing everything possible to acquire Jack Eichel. The one thing they're missing is that superstar punch that can get them to the next level. NFL, so exciting. Can't wait for the season to start. Seahawks play the Colts week 1. Everybody's excited about their team. What do your Titans got in week 1?
They got the Arizona Cardinals.
Nice.
Oh, yeah, it'll be good.
From the 537, with Saskatchewan crushing vaccination, it has to be a full slate of hockey in the WHL East Division. No? Just sit tight. Go golfing. Go for a walk. Let's not talk about next fall, okay? Because I got a report from BC the other day, somebody saying, Rod, have you heard that there's not going to be interlocking play in the WHL next year? And I said, no, but I've heard other things with regards to reduced capacity, so enjoy the weather.
Yeah.
Everybody's so... You know what it is, by the way, in BC? They're upset that they're not going to see Bedard come through in his home province. That was the impetus for the message from the guy. He's like, a lot of people upset out here that we're not going to see Connor Bedard. I'm like, just sit tight. I predict a very raucous second half kickoff, okay? That's coming up. And Arash Madani, too. Thanks to Craig Button for joining us in hour 1. We'll see you right after this break on Game Plus TV.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
Universal Collision Center is Saskatchewan's premier auto body shop. Our extensive process ensures that every vehicle that comes through our state-of-the-art facilities is returned pre-accident condition, and that every UCC customer experience is an easy one. We're certified to repair all makes, all models, and all luxury brands, and Universal Auto Spa offers full-service detailing packages to suit you and your vehicle. Plus, we're the official body shop of your Saskatchewan Rough Riders. Universal Collision Center, 3910 Rochdale Boulevard and 2355 First Avenue in Regina.
Bronco Plumbing and Heating, proudly serving Regina and surrounding areas since 1978. We are excited to announce the new Bryant Furnace Trade-in Allowance Program. If you have a working Bryant furnace, 15 years old or less, you may be eligible to receive a new furnace at a discounted rate. If you'd like to take advantage of the Bryant Trade-in Program, or to hear how we can help improve your home, give us a call today at 306-781-2090.
At Prairie Mobile, you can get the phone you want when you want. All smartphones are $0 every day. With convenient locations across Saskatchewan, Prairie Mobile, your SaskTel authorized dealer, has you covered. Visit us online at prairiemobile.com.
Is it time to take your event online? Bring it to IKS Live. We've got a fully customized virtual event platform with remote guest support for your next fundraiser, talk show, conference, performance, and more. IKS Live offers live streaming to Facebook Live and YouTube and pre-recorded capabilities, both in our studio with green screen available and on location with pre-production and post-production services. IKS Live, the proud producer of The Rod Pedersen Show and The Recovery Hour. Visit us at ikslive.ca.
In today's fast-paced world, we know you don't always have time to cook a nutritious meal. The Mad Greek in Moose Jaw's got you covered with delicious takeout and delivery specials, even for large groups or occasions. Authentic Greek cuisine, pizza, ribs, and more. There's something for everyone to enjoy. Offering delivery, and the takeout window is open to get your Greek to go. Family owned and operated. For more information and to view the online menu, visit themadgreekeatery.com.
People donate blood for moments like this.
But there are lots of reasons why Canada's Lifeline needs donors every day.
Like the fact that someone with leukemia can need up to 8 units of blood a week.
Or that donated blood lasts no longer than 42 days.
Or to help new moms and babies, like Henry.
There's lots of reasons to donate blood. That's why we need donors every day.
The need for blood is constant. Join Toyota and our Toyota dealers in supporting Canada's Lifeline.
Business owners and marketers. Okay, we know you think we're pretty cool. That's why we want you to share in the coolness factor. Partner with the Rod Pedersen Show and market your business every weekday to sports lovers just like yourself. Take advantage of our many cost-effective commercial and promotional opportunities. Tell the world about your business. Yes, the world. Thanks to Game Plus TV and the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. Contact us today and find out how you can be a part of Canada's fastest growing sports talk show, The Rod Pedersen Show.
Now,
listen, we're not advocates of firing coaches. Teams don't want to do it because they don't want to burn money, right?
How about that?
But look at Cleveland. You predicted a down year for them last year, and they had it under Freddie Kitchens. But this year with Kevin Stefanski, they're a playoff team. Like, it shows you how important coaching is my point, right?
Yes.
If it's not working, you got to get the guy out of there.
This is the Rod Pedersen Show.
It absolutely is. Welcome to the second half kickoff, everybody. Moose over there, RP here. And there was a lot of comments. They're really picking up, I've noticed. They're hard to keep up with, you know. And some have slipped off the screen here. There's breaking news today. If you've just joined us, the New York Rangers have fired their head coach, David Quinn, 1 week after firing their general manager and president. And the new GM, Chris Drury, says the search is on immediately for the next head coach of the New York Rangers. Moose, off the top of your head, what did the New York Post say? Who were the 7? Mike Babcock, the usual, right? Mike Babcock, Gerard Gallant,
Rick Tocchet,
Tortorella's 4.
Tortorella, Patrick Waugh.
5.
Brindamore was the wide
6.
one because it's not official, his extension.
And we're missing one, but it'll...
Bob Hartley.
Bob Hartley, who I believe has won back-to-back KHL titles.
Right.
Is it one of those guys? Mark Messier not mentioned, though, and I don't think it's going to happen. But anyways, that went down today, and Craig Button joined us last hour to break that all down. Arash Madani is coming up in block 2 of this hour, about 20 minutes after, and the guys from the XFL Markcast, their podcast, said, hey, give Arash a "you're" for us, Rod. None of us can quite figure out what went on in that interview or where Arash is on the merger, because he's very clearly called the XFL the twice-failed football league, which is what people say when they want to denigrate the XFL, right? It's a twice-failed league. So is Arash denigrating it or what? We'll get into that with him. I'm just trying to get caught up on all the comments here. From Brady Leovold, the former hockey pro, the retired hockey pro from the Mental Health Hockey Podcast, says the town of Gravenhurst is about to get a healthy dose of the RP show. Training for my rollerblade trek across Canada, and I have the RP show blaring through my speakers for all to hear. Thank you, Brady. He's my kind of guy. And he is rollerblading across the country. Brady Leovold, the former Swift Current Bronco, Kelowna Rocket, and Norfolk Admiral. So watch for him as he comes through your town and make a donation for mental health awareness. To the CFL thing, if there is a thing, Armando Moreno, which is our Mexican correspondent in Mexico City, says the CFL's head of football operations, Greg Dick, had a meeting with LFA's executives, that's the Mexican Pro League, and players to assure that next year's global process will have a more in-depth scouting for players coming from foreign leagues amid concerns that only players who participated in NCAA sanctioned competitions would be considered by the teams in following years as it happened this year. That confuses me, let alone John Q. Public. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Again, hopefully they figure it out. Allie Hicks is watching in Edmonton and said to us both, since we participated in the WHL Hub Center here, which was kind of, well, it was a bubble, but they didn't want it called a bubble, but you get the point. They said, because you saw that firsthand and it was held successfully, would the CFL consider doing that? Oh, I'm sure they considered it, but it's not happening, and I don't even really want to talk about it that much anymore. Because I'm getting sick of it. I'm getting sick of the whole situation. Because I know where some teams are getting their money from, and that's fine. So they've got money. That's great. They're starting to talk about, it came up yesterday for the first time that the 2021 season could be canceled. And I saw the guys talking about it. Mark Steven, the voice of the Stampeders, and Dave Campbell with Edmonton, and everybody was joining the party. And I'm like, oh, so you got the money. Again, why are you not playing then? Am I missing something? I see that you're deep in thought.
Yeah, no, and it's money, right? It becomes expensive. And then it becomes, how hard is it for the players? And in the hockey, for the hockey guys, they're playing every second day. Sometimes they're playing back-to-backs and get a day off or a couple of days off, but they're playing on average every second day, 24 games in 48 days. Football, literally, you go to practice, then you go to the film room, then you do nothing, you can't leave, and then you play once a week. Be awful tough on the players. We thought it was tough on the players in the hub. It'd be really tough on the football players who would have even more downtime, on a day-to-day basis. And it's incredibly expensive because those rosters are 2, 3, 4 times as big on each of those teams, right? So it becomes more expensive. You need more housing. And not that they can't do it. Do they want to spend the money or not? That's the ultimate decision. And clearly they don't.
I'm just dropping in a comment from a viewer. CJ Velasquez is watching on YouTube and says, New York Rangers fan here. Bring on Gerard Gallant. I'm going to miss Quinn's personality and presidential face. I wish him all the best. Great show, by the way. So I'm just dropping that in there. There's just so many people that want to talk hockey. We could do that for hours every day and probably end up well. Clark, your dad's watching. Rod Monroe says, good morning, gentlemen. Better late than never. Thanks for joining us for Coffee, Rod, this morning. Wayne in Victoria I agree. The RP show is the best, most interactive of any sports talk show today. Jordan on YouTube says this is probably the only sports show that lets us interact to such an extent. Probably? Name me one other show on television, sports or otherwise, that you're as involved as a viewer as this. I'll wait. Because I've thought about it. Did you hear Ellen's going off the air after 19 seasons? Yeah. Just a sidetrack there for a second. If you ever want to torture me, tie me to a chair and put Ellen on. There's just something nails on a chalkboard there. That's just me. Clark says he's getting some ideas on how to torture me. Anyways, I think where the people want, Gary Lawless came on the show and said he wants more transparency from the commissioner. This is where I'm deferring to you, Darren, as the businessman. I think people would like maybe the CFL to come out and say we could play in a bubble, but it's too expensive. And you're saying they don't want to do that because of how it looks.
Yeah. It looks like they can't swing with the NFL and the NHL and, Major League Baseball and the NBA and Major League Soccer. It looks like they can't. Well, the truth is they probably can. That's okay that they can't, right? And that they don't want to, and that it would be crippling. And you have community-owned teams, and that maybe can't handle the burden of it. Or you've got, business owners that own these franchises that don't want to take the loss because maybe their other businesses have also taken a hit in the pandemic. Let's not forget about that.
Yep.
Just because you're worth lots of money doesn't mean you can't you can just take the hit and keep on going. The bigger your net worth, the bigger your income stream, the more expenses you have, right? So those expenses don't typically go away in a pandemic. So there's more to it, but just the fans don't know that. So the fans see big, rich owners not willing to spend the money. That's all they see.
And that's what it is.
And that's what it is. But the owner, but if you came out and communicated, you could at least control the narrative and help people understand. But you'd have to be willing
to be honest.
And to admit that you're not the NFL or the NHL or the other big leagues.
Wayne in Victoria says, that angers me that the CFL has money but won't play. And, Metal Shingle Guy has written in on the Prairie Mobile text line, and he says, LOL, me too, Rod. I've got two choices here, to sit here and tell you what's going on every day and look like a jerk and tick off people in the league, or just move on to something else. But I'm not going to fudge it. Like, I was talking to a guy the other day, and I said, I'm coming across as a troll, I feel. And he goes, as long as you keep reporting the truth, you've got nothing to worry about. But it's depressing. I'd rather talk about the Jets and the Oilers.
Yeah. Especially,
at least they're playing.
Especially when you think about depressing, is that training camps are supposed to open on Sunday.
Yeah. From Dan, the Jets fan on YouTube, your show is definitely the original. Forever, it will go down as the first interactive television show. Like Dan says, how about the Winnipeg Sports Talk Show? Equally as interactive. They probably stole your model. No, but if you talk to Hustler, I'm talking daytime television. See all these new viewers? I guess we got to keep educating them. I'm the Whoopi Goldberg of sports talk. Daytime television. Joy Behar right here. I feel like we're... That's why I could never coach junior hockey, by the way. I've had these conversations with my coach friends. I'm like, every year you're teaching the same stuff over and over and over again. It would drive me nuts. They love it. You know what I mean? And then...
Oh, yeah.
Curtis Hunt said, we get older and the players stay the same age.
Dazed and Confused.
Think about it. Was that a line from Dazed and Confused? Never really watched that show.
Yeah, Matthew McConaughey's line. Was not a good line.
Chris Bird in Toronto says, none of the CFL owners owe us any football. Hashtag, how about that?
How about that?
No, they don't. And we don't owe them coverage, and you don't owe them season ticket money. How about that?
How about that?
Don Mitchell, our Navy friend, says it is depressing. Yes, it is. And angering, too, by the way. I mean, if I was a player, a coach, a staff member, I would go, why are you not fighting your ass off to get us on the field for me? I mean, the message to them is as depressing as anything.
Mm-hmm.
Tacona Powley's watching in Winnipeg, says, Rod, are the A's heading to Montreal? Is that the latest?
There's talk. I don't know how much of it there is, but there's threat of the A's leaving Oakland and the area. And unfortunately, that's where sports is going, right? The Raiders are gone. Are the Warriors now into San Francisco? I don't think they're there anymore in Oakland. So it becomes, where do they go, right? The Giants are already in San Francisco. They're talking, is it Vegas? Is it Montreal? Somewhere else? There's just some rumors and talk that the A's might not last. That would be interesting.
Well, and I got a notification this morning from somewhere, I think it was USA Today, that the commissioner of Major League Baseball, did you see this, offered to put pressure on the city of Oakland on behalf of the A's. I mean, this is big business, and it's like how much... I really would rather talk about what's going on the ice and the diamond and the teams that are playing. Did you know Vladdy had 3 hits last night and the Blue Jays win at Atlanta? Are the A's moving to Montreal? I don't really care. Ryan in McCarthy in Saratoga, New York says the Montreal A's. E-H. G'day, eh? He says, I'll see myself out.
Good job.
He's the king of the one-liner there. Jack Fulton, watching in Alberta, says the truth stands the test of time. That's why Rod is proving he's right. While it's not always so with the CFL and COVID. The truth doesn't have to answer questions. Who said it? Gary Busey.
Very good.
That noted philosopher.
Yes.
But it's true. I mean, people are writing me saying, you see it. It's on our Instagram page. They're writing, going, Rod, if the CFL has money, why are they asking Ottawa for money? I don't have to answer that question. Doesn't the CFL? Shouldn't they answer that question? I mean, they're getting the COVID relief, the wage subsidy, like everybody else. What the Edmonton team say yesterday, $2.5 million. But with regards to why they're not playing, if they have money, I don't need to answer that question. I don't know the answer to that question. My guess is that they don't want to spend the money. And that's why I think you'd like to think that you're in it for your players.
Yeah.
You would like to think that.
That would be wonderful. But they're in it they're a business, and they're in it to make money. And, spending money to make money. Now it becomes a complete branding play. Are they willing to invest the money for the branding benefits because there's going to be no payoff? And the answer is a strategic decision. They all decided no.
Yeah.
They're not in it to stay top of mind or to play to keep the brand up. We're going to save our money and play later.
Which is their team. It's their decision. We don't have to like it, nor do the players.
No. And we'll find out if the fans come back in the same way, if it was a good move or not. We won't know.
And how does the CFL look when they do come back?
Exactly.
I can't believe how much. We'll get into this with Arash, who I assume is logged in. I can't believe how many people are in on this Oakland A's story, potentially moving to Montreal. Like, to me, it's fake news. I got enough real news to keep me busy. That's why I'm not following this story. Dylan McDonald says, I like the Oakland Coliseum. It's nostalgic, and so much history was made in that ballpark. I like its charm. You were there a couple of years ago, were you not?
Yeah.
From Tacona Powley. Come on, Rod. We all have a soft spot for the Expos. Yes, I thought we had a soft spot to the degree that when the Washington Nationals won the World Series that I had a tear in my eye, and I realized I was the only guy in Canada that did. They were celebrating on the turf, and I'm like, that's my Expos. Nobody cares.
I know.
I was the only. You didn't care. You said that.
No.
You didn't feel the association to the Expos.
No.
From Sober Athletic, where it says the A's could also be the Nashville Stars, too. They're pushing hard for a team. There's always cities that want teams and rich guys with too much money. As my mom would say, more money than brains. And Jeff, the Stamps fan, said Oakland has as much of a problem with new arenas and stadiums as Calgary does. Yeah, too many teams, not enough quality venues. We'll talk about that and more with Arash when we come back. This has been the second half kickoff. You're watching the RP Show on Game Plus TV, YouTube, and Facebook Live, and 24-hour sports radio for Suds Full Service Car Wash at rodpedersen.com.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
Nestled in the scenic Qu'Appelle Valley, just 20 minutes northwest of Regina, is one of the finest golf courses in all of Saskatchewan, the Deer Valley Golf Club. The clubhouse has a full-service restaurant, and customers can enjoy a casual dining experience with spectacular views of the golf course and valley. A fully stocked golf shop, staffed by PGA of Canada professionals, is equipped to meet all of your golf apparel and equipment needs. Book your tee time, family event, or corporate tournament today at the Deer Valley Golf Club. Call 306-731-1445.
Introducing Original 16 Hard Seltzer. The refreshing taste of lemon and Saskatoon berry with vodka made in Saskatchewan. New hard seltzers from Original 16.
Capital Ford Lincoln is Truck Nation. Looking to buy your next truck or sell your current one? Capital is Canada's truck destination. Shop online or in-store to see the new 2021 Ford F-150, Ranger, Escape, and more. Right now is the best time to lease or finance a new vehicle. Can't find exactly what you're looking for? Let us help by sourcing your vehicle from our dealer network or custom ordering one that is perfect for you. Capital Ford Lincoln is Truck Nation, 1201 Pasqua Street North in Regina.
Does this look familiar? Your fans deserve an incredible arena experience. It's time for an upgrade. Stunning graphics. Revenue opportunities are just the beginning with our in-venue display systems and scoring technology. Let us help you find the best solution for your facility. EDG, always delivering the best fan experience.
Some of the challenges we face with the CT technology that we have today is some of the deficiencies in around integration with some of our other systems. The addition of 2 new 4D simulators within the programming, the Saskatchewan Cancer Agency is going to have significant impact on the care we provide to the people of Saskatchewan.
We started Suds Car Wash in 2003.
There's a bit of us in every part of the business. I've been working here since I was about 10 years old. Hard to believe it's been 12 years since. Our parents always taught us about the importance of quality of work and friendly service. And here at Suds Car Wash, we're a family-run business, so it's really important that our customers feel like family.
From all of us at Suds Car Wash, we make your car shine.
Here's how your business can be a part of Canada's fastest growing sports talk show. All you have to do is contact us, and we will tell you all about the dynamic and exciting marketing opportunities we have, utilizing a fully integrated 360-degree multi-platform. Imagine your business seen and heard across Canada on Game Plus TV and around the world on the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. You will use one of the most overused expressions in sports. You gotta be kidding me. Get your business involved. Contact the Rod Pedersen Show today.
Oh, yeah, he's back. Time for more of the Rod Pedersen Show.
Welcome back, everybody. Canada's daytime sports talk show continues, and I was saying that we got a lot of things to get to with the Arash. This Oakland to Montreal rumors coming up in Major League Baseball, and Wayne in Victoria, BC says, wasn't it in Oakland where the World Series was stopped by an earthquake in the late 1980s? That was in San Francisco, I believe, and Arash can clarify if I'm wrong. You were 2 years old, but I was in Ottawa on an exchange program. Please put Arash on my screen. I'll never forget Arash if you're old enough. Al Michaels, we're having an earthquake. Remember that? And the screen went black. Were you watching that game?
I was, and I think Michaels' call was something like, I'm not sure if we're on the air right now, and I don't know if I care.
That's right.
But Michaels actually turned into a news reporter because back in the day, he had been the Giants play-by-play voice. So at the time, the World Series was on ABC. As the helicopters and the overhead shots kind of went across the city, it was the Bay, it was the World Series, the Bay Area World Series, Giants Athletics. But basically, Michaels was explaining what you're looking at, what this highway is, how that's connected to the Bay Bridge that disintegrated. I remember it well, Rod.
Remember that, how that bridge went down? I remember it like it was yesterday. And I was with 25 other kids in Ottawa on an exchange program, Encounters with Canada, watching it in high school. We're having an earthquake. Anyways, let's start there. A's moving to Montreal. What do you think? Or is it just a ploy?
Well, a few things. Let's just start with Oakland first. Today's the 2-year anniversary of the Kawhi shot, Roddy. The ballpark in Oakland, which was also a football stadium, is basically connected to the basketball arena. So when you walk in through the loading dock there, through the players' parking lot, if you took a right, you would go into Oracle Arena. And if you took a left, you'd go into the ballpark/stadium. Well, now the Raiders are in Las Vegas. The basketball team is in downtown San Francisco. They're right beside where the Giants play. And now there's talk of the baseball team moving, which would mean Oakland has gone from 3 sports franchises all of 2 years ago to potentially 0 down the road. Now, miles to go before we sleep on the baseball front. But a lot of this, as we've come to understand with pro sports and relocation, is a leverage negotiation play and ploy. There's been more talk down the road of having a split with Tampa and Montreal, the Rays, Expos, whatever you want to call that. To me, this is a way that Major League Baseball, the owners of the Athletics, are going to try and get more money out of the taxpayers of Oakland and Alameda counties to keep a pro sports franchise there after they've just lost 2.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Thank you. I wasn't aware of too much of this, obviously. Now, man, you really stirred it up on that XFL Markcast, and I'm trying to sort out where you are on the XFL as a league. I saw the moldy sweaters and used helmets and that comment, right? And Richard Petty got involved, for the love of Pete. How do you feel about the XFL? How do you feel about the merger? I've never really asked you how you'd like to see this unfold.
My concern, Rod, is that the people now running the teams and the league office are fine with removing the C from the Canadian Football League. They're fine with the Canadian part of it being out the window. That if you said to them, we are going to have a 100-yard field and it's not going to be as wide as it is now, they'd be okay with it. I'm led to believe that there is little appetite for having much of a ratio, let alone any kind of ratio, moving forward to mandate Canadian players being involved. And doing all this with the hope and thought that maybe a spring league is going to operate. They're willing to throw the baby out with the bathwater, all on hope. And they keep saying, well, the league's in trouble in Toronto and Montreal and BC. You've done this. You've done this to yourselves. There was a local Quebec-based business conglomerate with Eric Lapointe as the face of it that wanted to come buy the Alouettes when the Wettenhalls threw the keys on the door. What'd you do as a league? Yeah, a couple Toronto businessmen who went to a Grey Cup party ended up getting a chance to do it. So I just wonder, Rod, I don't know about you, what if the league had good leadership? What would become of the CFL then? Something that I've continued to wonder for quite some time, as the years go on and as the eras go on.
Well, just, on that, I thought the Schooner should have been granted a franchise myself in 2019. You're from out there, playing in Moncton, and maybe it would have spurred on a new stadium. Was that barking up the wrong tree from the jump? God, to me, that's been botched.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't say it's been botched. I think it'd be a totally different conversation if not for COVID. I think they were kind of going down that road and going through the processes of it, and there was legitimate legs to it, and then COVID hit, and then, from an economic standpoint, how do you justify using public funds on a stadium or a pro sports franchise when there's so much more to do? But this whole notion that, the CFL is dead in Montreal, I don't buy that at all. Man, I lived there, and granted, it was a while ago, but I lived there from 02 to 04. At the time, the Alouettes were so hot with Calvillo and Cahoon and winning championships, and they were lighting up the scoreboard, and the place was sold out. It was harder to get an Alouettes ticket than a Habs ticket. 250,000 people showed up to the parade. I think the Alouettes work, and I like what Danny Machocha is doing from the Canadian standpoint of almost every Canadian transaction they've had is a French-Canadian kid. And people in Quebec support their own. They want to rally behind, the players who went to school at Laval and Montreal and Sherbrooke as a compliment to what they're doing. So, Roddy, you and I have talked about this before. The league continues to look just for like a magic bullet, a vaccine, something to just solve all of its problems. And now the latest thing is The Rock and the XFL. And what is that? What really is that? And how invested and committed are they into it long term? And the answer to that, Rod, is that nobody can really answer it because nobody really knows. And it's a massive risk to take. And you're throwing 100 years of history up in the air with hope that this is going to work out. And I just don't think that what history has shown us is that spring football doesn't work.
Well, I'm glad I asked the question. So you just explained it. What the XFL is a bunch of moldy jerseys and used helmets, whatever. That's what you're saying. It's not a big business right now, right? And so it's kind of a flimsy plan to save the CFL. Now, from a viewer, Don Mitchell says, we have embraced our Canadian way. Rod keeps saying the CFL is not the NFL. Then why should we try to be like them? His question's to you, Arash. Why would we lose the Canadiana? Why would they do it?
Because they think that if we team up and make it let's just say an 18-team league, we're going to get a pile of broadcast money, a pile of TV money, and that's going to put a lot of money in our pockets. And that's the way this is going to go. That's the thought. I don't know. Roddy, you live in a CFL market. I live in Toronto, so I don't live in a CFL market. But you live in a true CFL market. Is there interest in the Seattle, whatever their names are, the Memphis, whatever their names are, rolling in there? When I was doing that XFL, I'm like, who'd name me a quarterback in your league? Like Josh Johnson. The Josh Johnson-led Seattles roll into Regina with no Canadian players. I don't know, man. Is that of interest to you?
What I hear is it's a split. Some say I'll watch the Riders no matter what league they're in, and I hear that from Bomber fans too. The others are very dead set against losing the CFL of what it is, and I see people in the league don't want anything to change. I'm hearing that from a lot of markets, and I'm sure you do too, because we talk to a lot of the same people. Not everybody feels the same way. They just want football back. And I was in the park in 1993 when David Archer and the Sacramento Gold Miners came in here, set an attendance record, and it was a riot. I didn't care. I was a Rider fan back then, right? I'm buying tickets.
Well, I'll tell you this, Rod. I think if you gave Randy Ambrosie some truth serum, based on the conversations I've been having, if you gave Randy Ambrosie some truth serum, or if you gave some governors in the league some truth serum, because these days it doesn't seem like anybody knows what the truth is anymore, or they don't want to spew it, and they'll tell you that the truth is a lie. And say, do you believe in the ratio, and do you want the ratio to stay in this league? The answer will be no.
I've heard the same thing, so I know where you're coming from. You're not stirring it up, right? You're spewing facts. Hey, truth. Truth. Yeah, truth. From Gregory Lee. Hey, Arash, what is it like interviewing Conor McGregor? I think we asked you that before, but we'll ask you again. That must have been not weird, but have you done? Was it like all your other interviews?
You know what? It was really interesting because that happened it was the Monday morning after NFL playoff weekend, and I was up to like 3 or 4 doing prep for it. That man is a marketing machine, Rod. I mean, he is just hit play and go, and away he goes. And what I wanted to do is I wanted to ask him, basically have a conversation with him as an athlete, not as an MMA fighter. Connor, you've done all of this in your career. Well, what's next? What motivates you to get out of bed? What is it that about competition? So I wanted to come at him, but kind of asking him the same types of questions I would ask someone like Roger Federer at the tail end of his career. I've been lucky enough doing Rogers Cup to have sit downs with him and Nadal, talking to some of the guys in the twilight of their career. What now? What next? Why is it you're still out there competing? And that was the interesting part, because so often people get caught up in the storylines and the fight and whatever. They don't talk about the legacy part. They don't talk about the motivation part. And that was interesting to get out of McGregor.
Well, I'll say this, man. Like, I've interviewed quite a few MMA people. I've announced a lot of combat sports. Different from boxing, MMA, like their eyes are like wild animals. Mm-hmm. I swear to God. This was in the cage when I interviewed them. Yours was not, right? It was a sit down. Yeah, was he nice?
I mean, he's a brand, Rod. He's a slick brand. He knew he was speaking to a national audience in Canada where there were going to be pay-per-view buys, and they were looking for pay-per-view buys. The only difference here is that I now have myself a Bishop's University helmet. Mm-hmm. So thanks to my pals over at the alma mater, my Mighty Gators. I didn't have that for the McGregor interview. So the Vikes helmet's still here. It's gone down a notch.
I was going to say it depends on where they are in your heart on that day. You and my friend Cameron Hughes, Cameron Cheers, the professional fan, both proud Bishop's alum, as you know. Hey, lastly, how about those Toronto Blue Jays? As we said at the start, going in, they may or may not contend, but damn, they're fun. They're fun.
It's interesting when you bring a young team together and you kind of watch this rise of these kids who came up in the minor leagues together, Bichette, Biggio, Guerrero, and you just kind of watch, we're watching it all unfold. Vlad's 22 and Bo's 23 and Biggio's 26. And you see the growing pains and you see the ups and downs. And then you see an eighth inning like last night where they just came at you in so many different ways. And a one-run deficit turned into like a 3-run lead. And the one thing about him is, Roddy, they're the closest thing to appointment TV these days, because you really never know what you're going to get when you watch them. And they can come at you in so many different ways. And I was texting somebody last night and I just said, Vlad comes up, bases loaded. And I'm like, Vladimir Guerrero is turning into a mature professional hitter. It's not just about hitting the ball 10,000 miles an hour, even though it jumps off his bat. He understood last night with the bases loaded in a tight game, a single the other way is just as vital. And he can hit all fields. So it's really interesting. We saw the infancy, we saw the struggles, we continue to see some growing pains. And then there's actually something on the other side of it, and we're starting to see glimpses of what could be down the road.
It's the way it's supposed to be. More often than not, it is good when we turn our TV on. 5:20 Mountain tonight, Blue Jays at Atlanta. We'll be watching, as you say, appointment viewing. Sir, thank you for the visit. As always, keep in touch. Great job. Peace out.
Thanks, Roddy.
Sportsnet's Arash Madani checking in from the Big Smoke. From our viewers, Ryan McCarthy in New York State. I'm going to be honest. I thought that was a Baylor University helmet. You get it right, but different colors. Yeah. Different colors. From Tacona Pauli on YouTube. Bombers fan here. I'll watch 2 downs, 5 downs, here or there. Just less Ellen, please. Hey, if you like 5 downs, then the Fan Control Football League is for you. They don't do it every series, but you get bonus downs on some series. That was wild. Michael Alley watching in Los Angeles live. The CFL does not grow. It stays stagnant. This could bring its global brand to reality. And from John in Kansas City says, as a CFL fan, not the best news. Where did it go? It just slipped off. But I love how Arash pulls no punches. Well, they want to talk about that now. And that's fine. Sports update when we come back, and viewer takeover the rest of the way. What do you say, Moose?
I'm in.
Stanley Cup playoffs, CFL, XFL, Blue Jays, whatever you want. We'll be right back. You are watching the RP Show on Game Plus Television Network, YouTube and Facebook Live, and 24-hour sports radio for Suds Full Service Car Wash at rodpedersen.com.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
Capital Ford Lincoln is your used car destination. We're overstocked and priced to move, so shop online or in-store to get the best deal on any one of our massive selection of pre-owned vehicles. Every pre-owned vehicle at Capital Ford must pass a thorough inspection, ensuring that your buying experience is quick, easy, worry-free, and just like new. So save the depreciation and buy pre-owned. Capital Ford Lincoln is your used car destination. 1201 Pasqua Street North in Regina.
Introducing Original 16 Hard Seltzer. The refreshing taste of delicious peach with vodka made in Saskatchewan. New hard seltzers from Original 16.
Nestled in the scenic Qu'Appelle Valley, just 20 minutes northwest of Regina, is one of the finest golf courses in all of Saskatchewan, the Deer Valley Golf Club. The clubhouse has a full-service restaurant, and customers can enjoy a casual dining experience with spectacular views of the golf course and valley. A fully stocked golf shop, staffed by PGA of Canada professionals, is equipped to meet all of your golf apparel and equipment needs. Book your tee time, family event, or corporate tournament today at the Deer Valley Golf Club. Call 306-731-1445.
Don't rack your brain trying to source the equipment and materials you need for your business. Rockstar can operate your entire supply chain, from PO creation to expediting your shipments, all from our office. Leverage the buying power of the Rockstar Buying Group to not only save money and time, but also the headache. From gloves to glue, we can provide it for you. Find out more at rockstar.com.
Direct West has been the bridge for me from not dealing with social media or digital presence to having a presence. You have to take the leap of faith, so to say. And I'm glad we have. Direct West has helped us out immensely to get our presence online as far as digitally and also with the social media page. To see the results is just puts a smile on your face.
We started Suds Car Wash in 2003.
There's a bit of us in every part of the business. I've been working here since I was about 10 years old. Hard to believe it's been 12 years since. Working with my family has been great. My mom and dad have taught us the importance of hard work. I've been here since I was 10 years old, and my dad has taught me a lot about quality work.
From all of us at Suds Car Wash, we make your car shine.
Business owners and marketers. Okay, we know you think we're pretty cool. That's why we want you to share in the coolness factor. Partner with the Rod Pedersen Show and market your business every weekday to sports lovers just like yourself. Take advantage of our many cost-effective commercial and promotional opportunities. Tell the world about your business. Yes, the world. Thanks to Game Plus TV and the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. Contact us today and find out how you can be a part of Canada's fastest-growing sports talk show, The Rod Pedersen Show.
Laid back and kicking it, let's head back to the studio. Here's Rod.
I'll tell you what, this is how fast the world is moving, Moose. I get up every morning and I do these sports updates. It's like,
right.
By the time we get to hour 2, it's old news. What is it, Eastern? 1:40 now?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'll get to a sports update with what's gone on today already. Forget about last night. It was so last night. But I got to say this about Pucks U. The NHL playoffs are approaching fast, and the Rod Pedersen Show sponsor, UniversityofPucks.com, wants to make the run for the Cup a lot more fun for you. Go to UniversityofPucks.com right now and sign up for their Stanley Cup playoff pool. It's free to enter. The winner of the pool gets an autographed Connor Bedard Regina Pats jersey. You're not going to get a better price than that. Enter for free, win the pool, win a Connor Bedard jersey. UniversityofPucks.com to enter. Lots of people are doing that, and you can also sign up for their daily fantasy news for NHL wagering and go and win your pools, DraftKings and FanDuel. So here we go. Here is the very Where's my bell? So the New York Rangers firing head coach David Quinn isn't even the latest news anymore.
Right.
Oh, you see the Sabres stuff?
No.
Buffalo Sabres general manager Kevin Adams intends to move ahead with players who want to be here. And that, for now, includes disgruntled captain Jack Eichel. Adams this morning said Eichel has not requested a trade and disagreed with his team captain's assessment of there being a disconnect between the Sabres over how to treat a herniated disc that has sidelined him since early March. In raising questions about his future in Buffalo on Monday, Eichel said he favored having surgery. There's a disconnect right there.
Yeah.
Eichel said that on Monday.
There's a disconnect.
And there's Kevin Adams saying there's nope. And then this morning, the Rangers fired head coach David Quinn and the new general manager Chris Drury, who's been on the job 1 week today, I think, has said the search for the next head coach of the New York Rangers begins immediately. So that's what's going down in sports today so far. Now, for your Leafs, Toronto goalie Freddie Anderson will get his first start in almost 2 months when the Leafs visit the Senators tonight. It'll be Anderson's first game action since a 4-3 loss to Calgary back on March the 19th. You don't want him starting in the playoffs, if I read you right.
Yeah, probably not.
You want Jack Campbell.
Yeah, if he's starting in the playoffs, we got problems.
In the dub, Justin Sordiff had a goal and 2 assists, and Tristan Nielsen tacked on 4 helpers as the Vancouver Giants down the Victoria Royals 6-1 Tuesday. Keanu Durungs replied for the Victoria Royals. Defenseman Nick Sitchak scored once and set up 2 more as the Portland Winterhawks earned their 4th consecutive victory, beating Tri-City 5-3 and dealing the Ams their 4th loss in a row. The Blue Jays will try and make it 2 in a row over the Braves in Atlanta following last night's 5-3 victory. Toronto's Hyun-Jin Ryu is scheduled to make his 2nd start since coming off the injured list, while Max Fried is going for Atlanta. The Fraser Valley Bandits announced today that the club has signed Gentry Thomas for the upcoming CEBL season. A native of East Preston, Nova Scotia, Thomas is an athletic guard who has quickly risen through the professional basketball ranks after increasing his per-game scoring average in each of his first 3 seasons since turning pro, following a strong career at the University of California, Riverside. Speaking of Riverside, when is Season 5 of Animal Kingdom coming out?
I know. Let's go.
I was hoping you had the answer.
I do not.
Toronto FC is still looking for its first MLS victory. Tonight they visit Orlando, or at least they're in Orlando. They're playing Columbus in a matchup between 2 clubs dealing with injuries to important players. Toronto's reigning league MVP, Alejandro Pozuelo, is still working his way back from an injury suffered in the preseason. Toronto winless in 3 games for the first time to start a season since 2012. This sports update for dubnetwork.ca, your number 1 source for Western Hockey League breaking news and analysis with the best team of writers across Western Canada and the Pacific Northwest. Visit today, dubnetwork.ca. And for Ben Cahoon's G2G protein bars, RP Show viewers get 20% off with the promo code RP Show. Order yours now at g2gbars.ca. This is the time of the show where I say, this is where I keep the bars. My favorite, almond coconut. It's unbelievable. And I hide them from everybody else around here.
Yeah, I can tell.
You don't like them, though, right? You got breaking... No, you like those. You have more favorites. Sorry.
Yes, but I have breaking news.
What now?
Season 5 of Animal Kingdom debuts on Sunday, July 11th, 2021.
How about that?
How about that? Can you say that? Say it again. What
Sunday, July 11th. Season 5 of Animal Kingdom. They don't have a run on episodes, but the last couple of seasons were 13 episodes each.
I thought it was supposed to be in January that it was. Didn't you tell me?
They all were, yes. And, Yellowstone's supposed to be sometime in June.
Well, better be.
So here's hoping they're starting to come now. The movies have all been pushed back, right? The new Top Gun movie, those ones are coming out this summer. So
we're planning family viewing parties of Yellowstone season 4. That's what it is, right?
Yeah.
So it better be. How about that?
How about that?
There you go. Thank you, Rick Regan. I think we could sit and give Netflix reviews all day, which, by the way, our intern, Rachel, who's probably watching right now from Centennial College in Toronto, has written a huge what would you call it? Expose on the best sports docs on Netflix that she ranked, plus not sports docs. And then she asked me for my favorite top 5. And since we're sitting here, you know what they are. Number 1, Yellowstone. Number 2, The Ranch. Number 3, Breaking Bad. Number 4, Ozark. Number 5, Bloodline. And that's without even having to think. Number 1, Yellowstone. Number 2, The Ranch. And it's a far drop-off after that.
Yeah.
But think of they're Western.
No,
they're
for sure.
current state, but Westerns.
Yellowstone. Suits is up there for me. And it's
a lot of people like that.
Yeah.
Man, I do like when our viewers chip in with news. Tacona Powley in Winnipeg says, Cole Perfetti is off to the Worlds. Mum Spaghetti. The Winnipeg Jet. Cole Perfetti, Mum Spaghetti. It's an M&M thing. Was with the Moose all year, right? First round pick of the Jets. I was going to drop some news on the World Championships, but it's her news to drop, not mine.
Okay.
Fair?
Yeah, fair.
Mick Pankow. You know Mick. People who don't show get taken to the train station. Eh, Roddy? We haven't said that for far too long. Like the saying...
Take him to the train station.
Take him to the train station. What's he still doing alive? I thought he took him to the train station. Have you made it to that spot yet?
I'm done, yeah. I'm caught up. Oh, yeah. When I caught that, I'm like, here it is, because I had so much anticipation. Because he's playing the guitar at the bar, and they're about to go in for a drink. I'm like, here it comes!
I was the spoiler for you.
I thought they were going to take him out on stage.
From Troy in Toronto, from Sober Athletic, where my family's going to one-punch me in the throat if I say, how about that? One more time. I blame you, Rod. All our families are going to throw punches. I say it all the time around the house.
Me too.
How about that? Viewer takeover is next, and a face-off in overtime. You're watching on Game Plus TV and 24-hour sports radio at rodpedersen.com.
Have you subscribed to the Rod Pedersen Show YouTube channel yet? Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now.
Smoky in the air, that's a lot of fun. Big time, big time, big time, big time.
Direct West provides us with stats and analytics, and it's amazing for us to look and see that, each year we're 10 to 20% higher on our Google leads. It's great to see the success that our locations are having. The Direct West app gives us an opportunity to be in one place for people to find any of our locations or our commodities. Without Direct West, we would have to be in multiple digital places. I would recommend Direct West. They're great to work with.
Some of the challenges we face with the CT technology that we have today is some of the deficiencies in around integration with some of our other systems. The addition of 2 new 4D simulators within the programming, the Saskatchewan Cancer Agency is going to have significant impact on the care we provide to the people of Saskatchewan.
At Prairie Mobile, you can get the phone you want when you want. All smartphones are $0 every day. With convenient locations across Saskatchewan, Prairie Mobile, your SaskTel authorized dealer, has you covered. Visit us online at prairiemobile.com.
People donate blood for moments like this.
But there are lots of reasons why Canada's Lifeline needs donors every day.
Like the fact that someone with leukemia can need up to 8 units of blood a week.
Or that donated blood lasts no longer than 42 days.
Or to help new moms and babies, like Henry.
There's lots of reasons to donate blood. That's why we need donors every day.
The need for blood is constant. Join Toyota and our Toyota dealers in supporting Canada's Lifeline.
Capital Ford Lincoln is Truck Nation. Looking to buy your next truck or sell your current one? Capital is Canada's truck destination. Shop online or in-store to see the new 2021 Ford F-150, Ranger, Escape, and more. Right now is the best time to lease or finance a new vehicle. Can't find exactly what you're looking for? Let us help by sourcing your vehicle from our dealer network or custom ordering one that is perfect for you. Capital Ford Lincoln is Truck Nation, 1201 Pasqua Street North in Regina.
Hey, Rod Squad, now you can join the team with your very own RP Show gear. Head to rodpedersenshop.com and get yours today while supplies last. It's just like we wear on the show, official RP Show gear at rodpedersenshop.com.
You got something to say? You want to add to the show? What are you waiting for? Don't just sit there. Say something. Now, back to the studio with Rod.
6 minutes remaining in the show. As I do my public address announcer imitation.
Like
6 minutes remaining in the show. So there's a lot of questions coming in. Mike Blackbird in Toronto says, so when are we going to have the CFL sim, Rod? What's come up a lot, we had our meeting around here, and we've decided that most of us aren't into it unless we have a partnership with the Canadian Football League and full support from the teams for a CFL sim in 2021. Am I right in saying that I can speak for everybody?
You always can, yeah.
Regarding taking someone to the train station in the series Yellowstone on Amazon Prime, from Tank Abbott, watching in the energy capital, he says the CFL has been taken to the train station. They don't even know it yet. Yeesh. That's like when they're getting on the ride. We're taking you to the train station. If you watch Yellowstone, the guy thinks you're going to the train station. The problem is you stop at a cliff on the side of the road and they push you off the cliff. That's the train station.
This doesn't look like a train station. What are we stopping here for? We're here.
That's the inference. Where's Carlos in Indianapolis?
He's sad.
Yeah, he's like 2 hours gone already. Fastest 2 hours in sports. That's very true. Let's jump into the face-off, and then we'll have fun with other stuff. We'll have fun with the face-off, obviously, but face-off brought to you by the Ultimate Fan Zone Moose Show, where I got this Jays jersey, by the way. Little roadie over there. And to the Mad Greek restaurant. Here it is. Everybody wants to talk about the Oakland A's moving to Montreal. It's like that I don't believe is happening. I don't think you believe it's going to happen. The face-off is, will Montreal ever get another Major League Baseball team? And I will say yes. They've been flirting with Tampa Bay. Now they're flirting with Oakland. They don't yet. Well, they have a stadium, but they don't have a current MLB caliber stadium. But the city's big enough. The money's there. They love baseball. They will eventually have a Major League Baseball team in Montreal. There's no doubt. But the stadium's got to go in the right place. You got to have the right owner, obviously. There's talk of the NBA. They want an NBA team, too. So maybe an accurate face-off might be which comes first, NBA or MLB. But it's already got the imprint, as you know, as a baseball city, Darren. So I'm saying, yes, Montreal will have a Major League Baseball team again, but it's probably going to have to be relocated.
Interesting. You know, it's hard for me to say no, but that's the side I take because I'm an eternal optimist and, you know, what's the saying, right? Never say never and forever's a long time, right?
Mm-hmm.
The old writer, was it Gary Echeverry?
Yeah.
So I don't want to say never, but there's a long way to go before it happens. I think Vegas gets a team first in Major League Baseball. I think Nashville gets a team before Montreal does. So I think there's other options before you come to Montreal. So no, I don't think it's happening soon. I don't think it's going to happen, right away. And we have enough of a market here for the Jays. I don't know if we can support a second team right now. So I'll go on the other side and say no.
Well, it's a different time than the 1980s when I came up watching baseball and loved the Expos first and then the Blue Jays. So you might be onto something, but I do think they'll get a team eventually, certainly before an NBA team. Face-Off brought to you by the Mad Greek and Moose Jaw, available for licensed dining, group orders, catering, delivery, and our takeout window is open. Visit themadgreekeatery.com today. And for Ultimate Fan Zone, now just a click away. ultimatefanzone.ca, or check us out on Facebook and Instagram. Look, they got a major run on Blue Jays merchandise, by the way. Billy over there can't keep up, who is a dead ringer for Ryan Dinwiddie, by the way. Did I tell you that?
Yeah.
Billy, who runs the Ultimate Fan. Dead ringer for Ryan Dinwiddie. I got this Blue Jays gear there and a couple other nice items as well. Ultimate Fanzone on Moose Jaw. Worth the drive, as they say. People act like Moose Jaw's Afghanistan on the other side of the world.
I know.
It's the distance from Scottsdale to Glendale for our Arizona viewers. Anyways, back to the viewers here. I'm stunned, but maybe I shouldn't be, how much people want to talk about the Oakland-Montreal thing, but we just did that. Nelson chimes in and says, from 3 Dunk Nation, Nelson Lacombo has a workout with the Washington football team tomorrow. Further, Nathan Rourke will go to rookie camp with the New York Football Giants. Why wouldn't they if they had the opportunity, right?
That's right.
From Jeff the Stamps fan, knowing that many CFL teams still have money in the bank should be comforting to all us CFL fans. It tells me it's just a matter of time before they dust off the helmets and get things going. Life is all about perspective. And when I made that jump, I mean, if you knew me before, and a lot of you didn't, I was on the owners and presidents and governors' side. Believe me, I was. I was in a fight with the players all the time. They're like, Rod, how can you say that? I'm like, well, I was told to say that. Or after they got cut or traded, they're like, I want to get on your show and tell my side of the story. I'm like, God, I can't do that, you guys. It ended a lot of my personal friendships with players because I always had to take that side. And then when I left and crossed the floor, now I'm on the coaches and players' side, and that's who I'm upset about. So you can feel happy that the CFL teams have money right now. That's awesome for you, the fan. But for my buddies, Cody Fajardo is seeing his career flash before his eyes, ladies and gentlemen. That's just one guy, and I just happen to personally love him. But imagine being them. How would it feel to know that we could play? We could. But it's just not worth it to play and burn the money that we have sitting in the bank while my career is dying. That's my perspective. What's yours?
And I always end up on both perspectives of it, but that's it, right? That's the part that's really tough. And at the end of the day, your customers, the fans, the ones paying the money are the ones that really matter. And you're taking a huge gamble by not playing, hoping that they'll come back, because what we don't understand or don't realize is every day we're competing with the NFL. Those borders don't exist. Local teams, and we talk about it, it's just as easy and just as cheap for me to fly to Vegas
from here,
me to fly to Winnipeg. Yeah. And go to a Bomber game and a Rider game in Winnipeg, or go to a Titans and Raiders game in Vegas. The same.
Mick Panko says, Roddy, so glad to be able to listen in today. You guys continue to kill it. Thank you, Mick. Tomorrow we're going to have to talk about the Stanley Cup playoff pool. We ran out of time, but we're doing it here. Tomorrow, Bob Stauffer and Eddie Lack. It's a big NHL day. See you at noon Eastern on Game Plus. Truth's in the coffee. It's Truth Serum.